Namaste and Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joining you from Jammu, the very, very special effort that we've put together, and we would show that to you later this evening. For long, I have wanted to come to Jammu and speak to the people here when we talk about Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu largely goes unrepresented. But we'll talk about that and we'll showcase all of that later tonight on the right stand. But right now, the focus is by banning PFI and its affiliate organizations, fronts, etc., has the government of India taken the right stand? That was what we will try and look at while we speak to various voices. Joining us on the show tonight in a short while from now will be the National Secretary of the BJP, Shri Sunil Devender, followed by the Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh, who we hope we can get through, Narottam Mishra ji. And then we will have Dr. Tara Karta and Abhijit Iyer Mitra talking to us on what they believe the government has done, should have done, etc., and whether or not they've taken the right stand. So let's begin with what happened right at daybreak this morning, this Wednesday, where the PFI order came through by the government, where under sections 3 and 4 of the UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, the PFI, its affiliates, its fronts were all declared unlawful organizations. This is what the order said, quote unquote. The central government today hereby declares the Popular Front of India and its associates or affiliates of fronts including Rehab India Foundation, Campus Front of India, All India Imams Council AIIC, Rights Organization NCHRO, National Women's Front, Junior Front, Empower India Foundation and Rehab Foundation Kerala as an unlawful association. That's what they have said. This is the MHA order, that the PFI and its affiliates, its fronts, etc. have been banned under Section 3 and 4 of the UAPA. Unlawful association is the point. Now, let me just quickly take you through what else has been said in this as far as the order and the reasons for the order. What are the reasons why the MHA has said we need to ban? PFI's sole objective is to expand its membership, pursuing secret agenda to radicalize society, disrespectful towards the constitutional setup. PFI has potential of disturbing communal harmony. Instances of PFI leaders linked with ISIS. PFI promoting sense of insecurity in the country. Governments of UP, Karnataka, Gujarat have recommended a ban on the PFI. This is what the order says, and it's justified and put out very clearly delineated reasons why the PFI, its fronts and its affiliates have been banned. And this ban and this notification came hours after a post-midnight PFI statement from its PR team, which actually had a 9-point counter. If we put out 9 different exclusives on grounds here at CNN News 18, it was a 9-point counter where largely the PFI claimed that it was a Hindutva fascist regime that has come out and is out on a witch hunt against the PFI. Let's take this aspect and whether or not the government of India has taken the right stand with Sri Sunil Devender, who's joining us now live at this point. Sunil ji, namaste. You are the National Secretary of the BJP and you have actually tweeted, you've congratulated the Prime Minister and the Home Minister for taking this action where you believe, you said, that organizations that want to alternate the DNA of Bharat. Let's start there. Your thoughts on this crackdown and ban?
This was an excellent action taken by NIA, and the secrecy which was maintained and the way across the country it took place at the same time, and hundreds of people are arrested, terrorists or the people those who were involved in terrorist activities or those who were planning for some big terrorist events in this country to disturb the very DNA of our country. It was timely stopped, I can say, and that is why I have thanked Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah ji for this timely action taken by them.
But Sunil ji, just about midnight, the PFI put out a statement where they said it's a Hindutva fascist regime with ED and NIA servile to this regime. And they've also used the term where they have heard that courts are puppets at the hands of the government. They have said that this is a witch hunt by the Sangh Parivar. How would you respond?
See, it is an obvious response from their side, because they understand what they planned for, the events which they planned for future to destroy this country. And they know that the real protectors of this country are the Hindutva forces, and they know this government because the previous governments were biryani khilao governments to these people. And number one, the biryani was stopped, and number two, the real medicine has been given by Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah ji, that this type of things will not be tolerated in this country. You can see that after Narendra Modi ji took over this country as a Pradhan Sevak, I can call, 8 years plus some months have passed. There is no single terrorist attack happened in our country, excluding Jammu and Kashmir. But what was happening previous to this was the bomb blast in Mumbai, Bangalore, and number of places in this country, serial blast. Now everything has been stopped. Nobody is discussing today about Nota Bandi, but definitely one thing which is being done because of Nota Bandi, or which is the outcome of Nota Bandi, is the terrorist funding. This total funding was in black money and cash money, which was totally destroyed because of Nota Bandi. And so these people, PFI, SDPI people, they know that if anybody is there to support them, they are the only leftist lobby or Tukde gang or Congress or some family enterprise parties in this country, those who are totally indulged in corruption. And maybe some parties like Arvind Kejriwal, those who are Naxal parties, I can definitely call them Naxal parties, because their ideology, their deeds, their decisions and their comments and their way of conducting are definitely, they are urban Naxals. And that is why they will support these PFI, SDPI. And the true nationalist of this country, that is Bharatiya Janata Party, and obviously Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha and Swayamsevaks organizations, they understand that PFI, SDPI, they understand that these are the people, those who are not going to tolerate any attack on sovereignty of our country and our Bharat Mata.
Well, you talked about those who will perhaps give cover fire to organizations like the PFI, but there are also Congress leaders in Kerala. One of them has come out and said very openly that the RSS should also be banned.
There is no comparison of RSS with all these organizations. There is no comparison. मतलब इसके बारे में ऐसा बोलना ही पाप है. And forget about Congress, Anand ji. That person, whoever has spoken this, he should go and go to history and read. He should see that Pandit Nehru initially banned RSS, and it was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's decision that Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha was invited for Patha Sanchalan on 26 January. So he should correct himself, being a congressman. Secondly, after when Indira Gandhi second time banned RSS, and when she feared and what she experienced after that ban, and she realized that I was totally wrong what I did, and after she came back to power, she never uttered a single word about RSS. A single word about RSS after the ban was lifted and Janata government collapsed and Indira Gandhi again came to power. If you can check all the audios or visuals or the statements of late Rajiv Gandhi ji, then you will not find a single comment on RSS, barring once I remember he said that बाहर जो मोर्चा के लिए आए उनकी खाकी हाफ पैंट साफ जला कर आओ. एक कमेंट सिर्फ उनकी थी. Otherwise, even Rajiv Gandhi never uttered a single word about RSS, because they understood that RSS is different. RSS is a truly nationalist party. And what about social service RSS is giving for this country? Crores of people are being benefited because of the social service organizations of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha Swayamsevaks. Whenever there is a natural calamity, everyone has appreciated that before government machinery reach, before even army reach to help out people, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha Swayamsevaks reach.
But
Srinagar airport was cleared as Sangha Swayamsevaks in 1938 when jihadis attacked Jammu Kashmir to capture it, and Indian army could land on Jammu Kashmir on Srinagar airport only because RSS Swayamsevaks risking their life, they cleared the snow which was lying on the airstrip of Srinagar, and thousands of examples can be given. So Anandji, there is no comparison between RSS and any other such fraud organizations.
But the PFI says they have modeled themselves on the RSS. What RSS is for Hindus and Hindutva, PFI is doing the same for Muslims because RSS doesn't care for Muslims. That's what the PFI thinks.
Basically, PFI knows what actually RSS is doing, but they want to mislead people by their statements. They know that what RSS is doing, they are not doing. Can they show a single blood bank started by them? Single blood, I am just giving one example. Show me one blood bank they have started.
Organized a lot of blood
I can tell you
campaigns.
thousands of blood banks initiated by RSS Swayamsevaks in this country. Schools, hospitals, hostels, and number of things, social service projects. So they don't know what RSS is doing. I will not say this, rather I will correct myself, that they know what RSS is doing. Everyone knows, but it is only a propaganda because they want to save their faces, or they show that RSS that we are also good for Muslims, and that is why they are doing. This is absolutely unfortunate.
You are currently active. So Sunilji, you are currently active in Andhra Pradesh. So let me ask you, you've got responsibility there. Was the PFI present there? Is the PFI, SDPI, its offshoots? Have you seen them active in Andhra Pradesh?
I remember there were riots happened in Atmakur in Andhra Pradesh. During those riots, thousands of radicals came down on streets, and even they set the police station on fire, and our district president and general secretaries of Bharatiya Janata Party were rescued by a local SP in midnight time. And next day in his press conference he said that we had reports that the training camps of SDPI and PFI were going on in that region. And definitely I can appreciate all the state governments, those who supported this action, apart from their political ideologies, apart from their political line or thinking. You can see the governments are supporting NIA because bottom of their hearts they understand that this is the threat to our country, our people. And that is why even politics, such type of politics in future is not going to serve any person in this country. Even those who are pure, honest Muslims, I believe that their number is in crores in this country. They are not indulged in such type of activities. So even for them also, even for their protection as well, this action was required.
But Sunilji, is this too little too late or is it timely?
नहीं देर नहीं हुई, ऐसा है ना. Discussion was going on, questions were raised. See, anything which on the part of government, it takes time because we have to collect all evidences before such action, and evidences, then the whereabouts of the people, and it should not be leaked. See the secrecy of the. I wonder about the secrecy, and I really appreciate our Home Minister Amit Bhai Shahji and his team, that how secretly the thing might be it was going on from before a few months, but it was not leaked at all. And suddenly the news came that hundreds of people from different destinations were arrested. They had every single information: who is sleeping in which room, who is traveling in which bogie, who is crossing which border. Everything was there. And at a day, single day, it started. And now the PFI and SDPI are leaderless because all are inside.
Well, IB, NIA, and of course the NSA, they were all present in the control room. That's what we're given to understand. And this is a process that's taken at least 2 to 3 months of preparation and 2 to 3 weeks of recce. But final question, Sunilji, let me ask you: will you call it a surgical strike on anti-India forces, internal strike?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much for making the time and speaking with us. Sunil Devdhar, National Secretary of the BJP there. Now we've got Narotta Mishra, Home Minister Madhya Pradesh with us. Narotta Mishra ji, Dr. Narotta Mishra, नमस्ते. आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? मैं आनंद नरसिम्हन. मेरा पहला प्रश्न आपसे यही है कि PFI के बैन पर आप क्या कहेंगे?
मैं स्वागत करता हूं इस निर्णय का कि
जी,
ये जो राष्ट्र विरोधी गतिविधियों में संलग्न हैं, PFI जैसे संगठन, जो टेरर फंडिंग जिनको हो रही है, ऐसे संगठन जिनके ISI से जुड़े होने के प्रमाण मिले हैं, ऐसे लोग जिनका केरल में, तमिलनाडु में, कर्नाटक में, ओडिशा में हत्याओं में संलिप्तता पाई गई है, ऐसे संगठनों पर प्रतिबंध लगना चाहिए, मेरी ऐसी मान्यता है। और इसलिए मैं माननीय
PFI का कहना है कि
अमित शाह जी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं।
बट नरोत्तम मिश्रा जी, PFI का कहना है कि हिंदुत्ववादी, फासीवादी ताकतें और उनके चेले चपाटे हमारे पीछे पड़े हैं। आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखो, ओबीसी जी हो, दिग्विजय सिंह जी हो, या आप जिनका जिक्र कर रहे हैं वो हो, मैं कह सकता हूं कि मुझे संघ का स्वयंसेवक होने पर गर्व है, लेकिन PFI पर शर्म है। ये कह सकते हैं ओबीसी जी, दिग्विजय सिंह जी के ये PFI के सदस्य बने या हम हैं या हम समर्थन करते हैं, नहीं कह सकते। इसी से समझ में आ जाता है ये जानबूझ के हिंदू मुसलमान करना चाहते हैं। हम हिंदू मुसलमान नहीं करना चाहते हैं। अपराधी आतंकवादी हो, PFI का हो, प्रतिबंधित संगठन का हो, या जिसका भी हो, अपराधी अपराध होता है और अपराधी की कोई जात नहीं होती।
आप इसे एक इंटरनल सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक करेंगे नरोत्तम मिश्रा जी? आपने कुछ कहा था ऐसा ही।
हाँ, मैंने सुबह ही कहा था कि वह सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक उस समय हुई थी जब आतंकवादियों पर अटैक किया था पाकिस्तान की सीमा में जाके। सर्जिकल एयर स्ट्राइक और सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक ये आंतरिक सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक है, जिसमें एक साथ देश के कई ठिकानों पर ऐसे लोग जो देश विरोधी कार्य में संलिप्तता पाई गई थी, उन पर स्ट्राइक करके उनके संगठन को नेस्त नाबूद किया गया है और प्रतिबंधित किया गया है।
अब यहाँ कांग्रेस के नेता कहते हैं, नरोत्तम मिश्रा जी, केरल में भी किसी कांग्रेस के नेता ने कहा है कि अब PFI और उनके ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को बैन किया तो RSS और उनके साथी संगठनों को भी बैन करिए। दोनों एक ही जैसे हैं।
भाई, ये कांग्रेस की राजनीतिक तुष्टीकरण की है। वो कांग्रेस का नेता कह सकता है कि हमें PFI का सदस्य होने पर गर्व है? नहीं कह सकता। कोई कांग्रेसी कह सकता है? नहीं। हम कह सकते हैं हमें RSS का स्वयंसेवक होने पर गर्व है। ये अंतर है दोनों में। RSS को कांग्रेस के प्रमाण पत्र की जरूरत नहीं है। एक राष्ट्र भक्तों का संगठन है, जिसने देश पर जब भी आपदा आई, विपत्ति आई, तब संघ के स्वयंसेवक सीना खोल के देश भारत मां की आराधना के लिए अग्रसर रहे। इतना बड़ा अभी कोरोना का काल आया, वैश्विक संकट था। सोनिया गांधी जी से लेकर इनके नीचे के नेता केरल वाले, चाहे मध्य प्रदेश के, कोई अस्पताल में देखे, अनाज बांटते दिखे? नहीं। लेकिन RSS के स्वयंसेवक दिखे, ये उनकी क्या होड़ करेंगे? ये कांग्रेस के लोग हैं जो सेना पर सवाल उठाते हैं, जो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक पर सवाल उठाते हैं, ये आंतरिक एयर स्ट्राइक पर, आंतरिक इस टाइप पर सवाल उठाती हैं, ये वैक्सीन पर सवाल उठाते हैं, ये ईवीएम पर सवाल उठाते हैं, ये न्यायपालिका पर सवाल उठाते हैं। ये कांग्रेस का चरित्र है, उसी के कारण से अब आधे प्रदेश में कांग्रेस रह गई है, एक प्रदेश भी नहीं बचा अब उनके पास।
पर नरोत्तम मिश्रा जी, मध्य प्रदेश को तो देश का दिल माना जाता है। अब देश के दिल में ही अगर ये घुस के बैठे हैं तो आप क्या कहेंगे? हाल फिलहाल में देखिए मध्य प्रदेश में कितनों की अरेस्ट हुई है। ये सब अपनी जड़ें वहां मजबूत करते हुए दिख रहे हैं। जेएमबी हो, अंसारुल्लाह बांग्ला हो, आईसिस हो, पीएफआई के हो, सभी कितने तो यहां मध्य प्रदेश में से पकड़े गए।
गिरफ्तारी हुई है तो जड़ें जमाई नहीं, जड़ जमाने की कोशिश है और हर कोशिश को हमने नाकाम किया है, चाहे वो चोरी वाले के रूप में हो, चाहे खरगोन दंगे के रूप में हो, चाहे अभी हो। हम इनको जड़ें नहीं जमाने देंगे। हमने मध्य प्रदेश में सिमी का नेटवर्क समाप्त कर दिया। सिमी अब इतिहास की वस्तु हो गई। आज के बाद पीएफआई भी इतिहास की वस्तु होगा। 25 लोग हिरासत में हैं, बहुत जल्दी इनकी जो स्लीपर सेल है वो भी हिरासत में होंगे।
चलिए देखिए, अभी आपदा पूरी तरह से टली नहीं है, चैलेंज अभी भी है, लेकिन अभी तक जो अचीव किया गया है उसके लिए सबको ये क्रेडिट जाता है कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसीज ने जिस तरह से इसको एग्जीक्यूट किया है। Thank you for speaking with us, Dr. Narottam Mishra, Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh, with us here. Now, quickly, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, and ask our two experts this evening whether or not the government of India has taken the right stand. Dr. Tara Karta, former Director, National Security Council Secretariat, will be joining us live, and Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Senior Fellow, Institute of the Peace and Conflict Studies, is also with us. Abhijit Iyer Mitra and Dr. Tara Karta, namaste. Abhijit, let me start with you and ask you: has the government of India taken the right stand? Have they gone about it the right way? Under sections 3 and 4, they've called it an unlawful association. They've not called it a terror organization under section 1. But they have they're moving towards a comprehensive ban and also crippling the finances and also social media footprint.
Absolutely. Look, first the process was right. They didn't ban it and then look for proof. They've gone about, because, this is a Hydra-headed organization. They've learned from Pakistan where, everybody has their civil organization, their charity organization, and then their terror wing. PFI has spread like this into many Hydra heads. And what they've done is they've raided all of them. They've collected the requisite amount of proof that satisfied them. And then they've gone in for a ban. And this is what you need to do if you fear that some organization is ultimately going to become a terror organization. The problem with classifying a terror organization has always been that it's impossible to prove that A, B, C or X, Y, Z is going to explode a bomb somewhere, right? So there are new definitions required for this. You need to be proactive in this because, you can't wait for a bomb to go off and then cry yourself hoarse. Now, the problem here has always been how do we navigate that legal boundary between proactive banning or post-facto banning. And I would say in cases of national security, it is probably much better to go in for proactive bans, given that this is not a political organization that we're talking about. This is a political propaganda organization. Rather, it is a religious propaganda organization, which should not be given the protections that political organizations are given.
Dr. Tara Karta?
No, I think it's certainly the right way to go about it, that you are cutting off, like Abhijit said, something which has grown, like I said earlier on your show, it has grown hugely over the last 10 years. It's kind of created this whole atmosphere of hatred, and that is what I am really, really upset about, is that there is this, they fuel this sense of alienation from the majority community. From that comes the terror attacks by a few, who've joined up with the Islamic State, who've joined up, the attack on the Kabul Gurdwara and so on and so forth. That is a very small percentage. But that climate of hatred which they've created is what is dangerous and is what we need to reverse. But having said that, I mean, banning something is the easiest task actually. Now comes the next step. I mean, they will reinvent themselves into something else. There is the question of the resentment of these cadres, particularly students. the young people who've joined some of these organizations, sometimes on genuine causes. Let's not forget that. Sometimes the causes have been genuine. So the question is, how do you prevent this from coming up again in another form and doing the same things these guys did for years? It's a very, very organized one with and remember, it's very curious. It doesn't keep a record of members. So which is very unusual. So it's a kind of the shadowy organization which probably is still there. I mean, you can ban it till the cows come home, but this sentiment of hatred that has been fueled is going to remain. So how do you deal with that? That is my question. My suggestion is, if I can say, just give me a minute, is that you hive away whatever is the social work that they're doing, whatever the good that they're doing, and try and rework it into another organization which can then receive formal state support. So, okay, you're doing welfare work, go ahead and do it. That reduces the hatred, that reduces the cadres, that reduces the suspicions. That's one way to go.
But in doing that, you're also taking a risk, because you do not know who's radicalized and who's not, because they have always posed a very, very benign front, despite what their real intent is. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, it cannot stop here. You cannot say, okay, we've done the crackdown, we've done all of this, now it's over. It doesn't stop here. Perhaps the work just starts now.
It is. This is just the beginning. We can't see this as the end. As Tara ma'am said, this is just the beginning, because now what you'll have to do is you'll have to keep putting the people who associated with the PFI under the scanner. And remember, they've got a whole bunch of overground workers, be it lawyers or so-called public intellectuals, etc., who will support them. What are you going to deal with that? Because see, their job specifically is to carry on the radicalization through other means. What are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about the same people reassociating in different forms? Remember, PFI itself is a sort of reforming of the SIMI which got banned. I'm not saying this, it's the government that's saying this, right? So what do we do about that? That is point number one. Remember, even in cases of charity and good work, if you remember, Hezbollah in Lebanon started off as a charity organization. Where the state capacity was extremely limited, where the Lebanese government could not provide any kind of services, health, anything of that sort to the average Shia in Lebanon. This is how Hezbollah grew, and then they based their military wing. They used it as a front for money laundering, and they based their entire military wing. And today they're one of the most powerful. They're almost like a state within a state. So we also have to prevent that out here. And there's really no easy ways here, because there's too many shades of grey here. We don't know when one metastasizes into the other.
Very, very well said. We just have to keep our antennas up, our eyes open, our ears always to the ground and listening, and to try and nip this into the bud, not allow it to become a hydra over a decade and a half, and then move to crack it down, because sometimes you cannot weed out everything. You cannot weed out all of the grass. There will be those which will sprout back again, and that's the big danger as far as society is concerned. Dr. Tara Karta and Abhijit Iyer Mitra, thank you very much. Keeping this conversation short today, because I want to do justice to Jammu. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very special effort. We're up next after the break. Stay with us here on The Right Stand.